Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Wednesday thus far. Y'all see the subject matter, man. It's quite laughable out here, man. I'm gonna give y'all about a minute, 2 minutes to tap in before we start going off on this subject matter, man. What a sad world that we live in, man. Sad world that we live in. Y'all see the headline? It's real in the field out here, man. Dudes out here blaming COVID as to why they going up in supermarkets shooting, aiming for specifically targeting black people. We're gonna blame it on COVID out here. That's what we doing. But what's the word, man? How y'all living? How y'all feeling? Before we start building on this subject matter, man. What's the word? Talk to me before I start talking to y'all. Because once I get going on this, ain't no telling how I'm gonna start to go in, man. Ain't no telling how that's gonna go out, how that's gonna turn out. Ain't no telling. Because this is stupid. This is stupid. This is the family of dude that went up in there and killed all these folk. Like this is what they own. This is what they and like we seriously like they seriously entertaining that nonsense. Like it's garbage. Patrick, peace. What's happening? Beast by Bless zone out. Peace, my brother. What's happening? Like that's laughable. Laughable. Like dude ain't never been racist. Ain't never had a racist bone in his body. We gotta blame it on COVID. Blame it on the isolation. What does that have to do with this dude writing a manifesto targeting black people? What does COVID have to do with that? Somebody let me know. Where did I miss something? What does COVID have to do with what he did? Magic, peace, what's happening? Somebody let me know something. Maybe I'm missing the connection here. But how are we about to sit here and blame COVID as to why a dude decided to drive 3 hours away from where he lives to shoot up some people? Blame it on COVID. I'm going to drive 3 hours away. Like, I'm afraid of COVID, so I'm going to drive 3 hours away to commit a genocide. That's what I'm going to do. If I'm afraid of COVID, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go drive 3 hours away to go shoot and kill people. 3 hours away. That's what I'm going to do. COVID made me do that. That don't even make any sense, man. Ashley, peace, what's happening? Justin, peace, what's the word? They are blaming this on COVID, and I swear to you, I feel like they're going to entertain this notion. And I swear to you, I feel like it's going to have some effect on the outcome of what happens to them. I promise you I feel this way. And if it does, that's dangerous. So we can all just go out here and do a bunch of nonsense and just blame it on COVID. I blame it on being isolated. I'm traumatized by COVID. I'm traumatized by the COVID experience. So therefore, I'm about to just go do something crazy. And then boom, I'm just going to blame it on COVID. Delano, peace, what's happening? Yep, that's what we on. Matter of fact, we ain't even going to play around. I'm just going to go ahead and share this screen so y'all can see this article, man. Some of y'all already hip to the situation. But hold on. Let me get to the point where I can share this so we can go through this article. Cool and peace, what's happening? Because it's ridiculous, man. We ain't gonna even play around with it. We're gonna get right to the business, man. Right to business. Let's go ahead and share this screen. Jasmine, peace, what's happening? We're gonna share this screen, boom, there we go. We're gonna read through this article, right? Here it is. New York Post. Credible article. Look at that. Kin of alleged Buffalo shooter Peyton Gendron roll out COVID defense for slaughter. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. That's how stupid this stuff is. Relatives of Buffalo supermarket slaughter suspect. Dude should even be called a suspect at this point, man. Like, dude did it. You know what I'm saying? Or copping the COVID defense. Telling the Post on Monday that the teen likely snapped because of his paranoia and isolation due to the pandemic. That's what stupid. This is stupid. When we get on live television and say some things that don't make sense, people don't hesitate to call black folks stupid. So I'm gonna call them stupid. This is stupid. They added they had no clue that their kin, accused 18-year-old Peyton Gendron, was an alleged white supremacist and said he clearly needed help after threatening his high school classmates almost a year ago. Although they aren't sure he ever got it. Here we go. Mental health type deal. I have no idea how he could have gotten caught up in this. I blame it on COVID. Stupid. Said Sandra Komorov, 68, a cousin of Gendron's mom, Pamela, referring to the teen's alleged hate-fueled rampage that left 10 black people dead at a Tops-friendly market on Saturday. He was very paranoid about getting COVID, extremely paranoid to the point that his friends were saying he would wear the hazmat suit to school, she said. Again, what does this have to do with specifically targeting black folks? I have no clue. And then he got COVID just a few weeks ago. He went to family functions with a respirator mask on. He totally wasn't going to get COVID, and then he got COVID. They were vaxxed to the max, she said of the family. I don't know if it was a bad case. I just know he caught it. She added that Gendron had bought into the fear of COVID. Again, what does this have to do with this dude specifically targeting black people? Don't sound like he got COVID from black people. So what does this have to do with us? Her husband, Dave Komorov, 68, added, in theory, COVID could have affected what they call the lizard brain. The part of the brain, oh man, the part of the brain that controls aggression. Y'all have got to be kidding me out here. I can't say it's impossible, but maybe that would happen one out of so many millions of times. Before Saturday's slaughter, Gendron had allegedly written a rambling 180-page white supremacist manifesto that spewed a racist philosophy and outlined his step-by-step plans for the massacre, law enforcement sources have said. In the chilling document, the teen described how he become radicalized online because of extreme boredom during the days of the pandemic. Here we go. The Komoros denied knowing anything about Gendron's alleged horrific racist leanings, with Dave saying he's very smart. Sure, y'all didn't know anything about it. Sure. I don't know where he went online, the dark web or wherever, but apparently he got into some nasty stuff. He's smart enough to get into dangerous stuff. Online, which maybe the average person wouldn't know how to get into. Of course. He's smart enough, but then he gonna let COVID lead him to doing something stupid. Okay, but he's smart though. All right. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out myself. As for a threatening missive at his school in June last year, in which Gendron was asked about his future plans and responded that he wanted to commit a slave suicide, Dave said. Here we go. Letting y'all know what he on. My question is, and I don't know the answer either, but did they do something? The parents are well-to-do. Did they put him in some kind of therapy? Here we go. Mental health, once again. Because when they got the civil lawsuit, that's what's going to come out. Someone's going to ask, what did you do last year after this incident? They'll ask the parents, what did you do? What did you do to help this kid? Here they go. Mental health. Trying to use mental health as an excuse here. The parents are both college educated. They're intelligent. They're engineers. They're not Hill people. Did you think he needed any help? At the time, state police responding to that incident took Gendron to the hospital for a psych evaluation. Should have never did that. But he was released after a day and a half. There should have been light bulbs going off, Sandra said. This kid should have been in some kind of empathy training that teaches these are human beings. It's ridiculous, man. It sounds stupid. Otherwise, the couple said the teen and his family checked all the boxes of what you would consider normal. Sure they did. It is a good family, a very good family. It's unconscionable to me what happened. They're very average people, God-fearing. Yeah, I don't understand a racist thing because my family is the farthest thing from racist. Boy, I've heard that from a lot of white folks. I've never heard a racist comment from him, from his parents. It's almost like he just snapped, something in him broke. Boy, I've heard that too. The whole family is in shock. They say you probably have a checkbox of what you would consider normal. I would think that this family checks all the boxes, he said. I'm trying to figure out the dysfunction, and I just can't. We were at his graduation. He's an 18-year-old kid. I said, congratulations. He said, thank you. I said, what do you intend to do? He said, be an engineer like my mom and dad. I just don't see how this happened, but apparently this has been germinating for a long time. You think? Let me go ahead and come back to y'all, man. Let me come back to y'all real quick. Let me come back, man. Let me stop sharing this screen. Now listen. Y'all heard what I read. Y'all heard that, man. Y'all know how stupid does most of that sound? Like, let me go back to this one part. Like, let me go. Where this part at, man? Where the part at? Where the husband said, in theory, COVID could have affected what they call the lizard brain, the part of the brain that controls aggression. Now we, oh man, now we out here saying that COVID affects the lizard part of the brain, the part of the brain that's responsible for aggression. That I'm telling y'all, that's how they going that's how they gonna get over. That's how they gonna get over. Oh, it affects the lizard brain. Now let me go out here and commit an aggressive act and see how far I get by saying something like that. Man, Ashley, I'm already knowing. Like seriously. Like let's see how far any of us can go using that as an excuse. Patrick, exactly. Dude wrote everything on his gun. And I don't think COVID at all was on there. No COVID, no Rona, no coronavirus, none of that. None of that was on the gun. None of that. This dude went up in there and did a Call of Duty style stream and was specifically targeting black people. But yet now we say, oh, it was because of COVID. Chris, peace, what's happening? Please, somebody let me know, what does COVID have to do with a young white boy targeting black people, killing them, slaughtering them, committing mass genocide? What does COVID have to do with that? I don't understand this correlation. I don't understand this connection. But this is what we own. And I'm telling you, they're gonna entertain this defense. They're gonna look into this defense. They're gonna start studying the part of the brain that's responsible for aggression. They're gonna test the theory. This is what's gonna happen. Must be nice. I do something light, we can't blame it on COVID. We do something light, we can't blame it on COVID. You know what I'm saying? We get caught with some drugs, we can't blame it on COVID. We can't use that defense in simple situations. He about to use that defense in this catastrophic situation. Like he gonna use that defense. Because that's what they gonna roll with. And I'm telling y'all, I wouldn't be surprised if they entertain, if they listen to it. Like that sounds foolish in and of itself. It should not even be entertained. We should call it just what it is, call a spade a spade. It is stupid. Blaming COVID for what he did is stupid, is dumb, is just ignorant. Whatever words you want to utilize, that's what it is. But how many people gonna call it like that? As far as mainstream media goes, not many. Not many. We can guarantee that. So this is the world. This is the world we living in now, man. People committing these type of acts, these mass genocides, and they blaming COVID. And again, like I said, this can get dangerous. This can get dangerous. If they entertaining this, you got to understand how many people will be influenced by that. Oh, okay, we could do something crazy out here to black people and just blame it on COVID and get a slap on the wrist. Blame it on COVID and mental health. And then we can get a slap on the wrist. Oh, okay, cool. So if this situation goes a certain type of way, you best believe there are going to be more cases of this happening. Where, all right, man, we about to commit something crazy, and then we just gonna say, all right, it was COVID. It was COVID. You know what I'm saying? I had a fear of COVID. The COVID traumatized me. The COVID experience traumatized me. I don't want to catch COVID, so therefore I'm gonna boom. I'm just gonna go shoot and kill 12 people. Chris, hey, hey, I guess so. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to blame COVID on, we can do that now. I guess that's what we on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to pay the rent. I'm blame COVID. I don't go. I'm just blaming COVID for everything. That's what we gonna do. Like that's what we doing. I can't believe the family has the audacity to do that. Like they got the audacity to sit here and spew that type of rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't believe that. Like I can't believe that was even published, man. Like that just shouldn't. We shouldn't even publish something as ignorant as that. Y'all heard what I was reading, man. All of that is ignorant. All of it is trash. All of it is stupid. It is just dumb. It's dumb. And I'm gonna keep my eye. I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. Shantae Peach Queen, what's happening? I'm gonna keep my eyes on this one, man, because I'm gonna see how this unfolds because I feel like this is real interesting. Because I actually feel like, as dumb as it sounds, I feel like they gonna get far with this whole COVID thing. They gonna get far with it. They gonna get far with it. They may not succeed or they may succeed. I don't know. But I feel like they're gonna get far with this whole blame it on COVID thing. I feel like that's gonna actually play out, and they're gonna get far with it. Must be interesting. As Beast by Bless Zone out said, man, lighter the skin, lighter the crime out here, That's how it is. Yeah, Delano, the mental health, yep. So they playing that, and they kind of using COVID to justify that one as well. Yeah, the mental health and having COVID and being isolated wasn't good for his mental health. And he was already having problems, and he let y'all know something a year ago, and nobody was trying to give him any type of help. And see, look what happens, and whoop, 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 all that. They're already building that up. They already building it up, man. It's a trash situation. Yeah, Kuma, that's what it is. That's what it is. Lindell, peace, what's happening? Man, I don't know. I feel like from time to time, they be trying to stop the greatness out here, man. People don't be getting notified when I go live, like it's crazy. And they keep doing that. They keep doing it. Oh, Delano, for sure. You should say, why didn't we hear the same scenario from the black guy in Manhattan? Yep, no, we can't blame COVID. It's only them. Them the only ones that can blame COVID. We don't have the right to do that. We can't blame COVID for anything. We can't do that. We gotta take the L. We didn't experience anything traumatic dealing with COVID. So black people, we don't have the right to bring that up as any type of excuse or defense. We don't have that right. We can't do that. I guess apparently that's only for white people. White people are the only ones that can be like, all right, cool. COVID caused it caused a lot of, I guess, turmoil mentally, and it led to me acting crazy, doing something crazy, doing something devilish. They the only ones that can say anything along those lines. We can't. We can't. Apparently, it's just in our nature. If we do something like that, that's just how we are. So we just gotta take our L. See, when they do something like this, everybody always says the same. I can't believe I can't believe such. I couldn't believe little Peyton would do this. He was always a nice kid. I never see him. I would never see him do such a thing, and this, that, and the third. It's always the same old song and dance, man. Same old song and dance. But he told y'all last June that he wanted to commit a slave suicide at a high school. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what like come on now. But y'all, they can't never believe that they people are capable of doing these things. They always say the same old thing. I can't believe little Peyton would do this. I can't. Nobody in his family is racist. I can't. Whatever, man. I just can't stand when I hear white people start. That stuff grinds my gears to hear it, man. Grinds my gears to hear it. Brittany Peace, what's happening, Lindell? Man, I gotta tap back into that situation. And give an analysis on it, man. I gotta tap back in. But yeah, I've been hearing it's gonna get real in the field. I mean, it's really real in the field. Things that we've been talking about now, I'm about to go off into a whole nother tangent, but things that a lot of us have been talking about for 10 plus years, man, things are coming full surface now. You know what I'm saying? Like when they talking about food shortages, man, this is something that has been talked about for a minute now. Food shortages, man, we've been talking about that. We've been talking about the prices of food going up to the point where they are trying to create two classes of people. And I've been talking about this, and it's a lot of other folks that have been talking about it. They want the rich class, they want the poor class. That middle class, they trying to wipe that out. So when you see all these prices of everything going up, that's that. That's part of that prophecy. That's part of that agenda. And it's happening, man. It's happening right in front of our eyes, man. Like, listen, we got to understand the times we are living in. And no, I'm not biblical to where I'm finna say we living in the last days. No, we just living in some interesting times. And some things are unfolding according to their agenda, man. So things are unfolding just how they want them to unfold. And a lot of people have been studying them. A lot of people have been studying the way that they move for a minute, you know, and things are unfolding according to what a lot of us have been saying. I'm telling y'all, these gas prices, these food prices, a formula shortage and things like that, which formula is garbage and trash anyway. But like these shortages, man, this is stuff that has been talked about for a minute. Black Dynasty, peace, what's happening? TR, peace, what's happening? So it's a lot of things unfolding that's a part of this agenda, man. And like I say, every few months something like this happens, the mass shootings, and whether it's white dude doing something like this or the cops taking us out. Every few months this has to happen. It's like clockwork. It's a pattern. Every few months it hits the mainstream. Like this happens more often than we know. Some of these joints just don't make it to the mainstream, like when the cops wipe us out, you know. But every few months something like this has to make it to the mainstream. They got to keep letting us know what's up. It's a subconscious thing out here. They let us know what's up. Like every few months, something like this makes it to the mainstream. Mass shooting, cop kills black kid. Every few months, it's like clockwork. We have the same type of story. Every few months, something like this happens. Every few months. Every few months, man. Every few months, something like this is popping up and it's happening, and they doing that for a reason. Gotta pay attention to it, man. They doing it for a reason. They doing it for a reason. This type of stuff pops up for a reason. And I'm a spit a jewel because somebody asked me. I had a client ask me. They was like, "Do you think the mass shooting was planned, like planned type deal?" You know, and you know, I ain't gonna say something along the lines of it being staged and those were the crisis actors and things like that. Nah, I ain't gonna get into that. But I will say this: I 100% believe, and this is belief. You know, I'm gonna say I believe it. I will 100% believe that Big Brother knew about the state of mind of this dude before he did what he did. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say they knew the state of mind of this particular white guy or his white boy before he went and did what he did. They knew. They knew. They knew he had the potential to do exactly what he did. They knew it. They knew it before it happened. They knew it before it happened. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say that much. They knew it. They knew it before it happened. The way they be tapped in on all of our electronic devices. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about anything, our phone gives us an ad in reference to what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be thinking about something and you turn on your phone and you see an ad for it, for whatever you was thinking about. So you mean to tell me all the electronic devices that I know that this white boy had, they they weren't tapped in, they wasn't getting no alerts? Come on, stop playing with us, man. Stop playing with us. The way they tapped into this technology, y'all got to be a fool if y'all think that this dude wasn't sending off no alerts and no signals and things like that from what he was searching in, like his algorithms. Come on, man. They knew what was up, man. They knew what this dude was on, just like they know what we on. So come on, man. I 100% believe that he was using technology just like everybody else. Ain't nobody that smart. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody that smart. They know what you're doing. They know what you're doing. Like I don't care how smart he's a smart guy. Nah, he wasn't that smart. They know what you're doing. They hip to what you're doing out here. Some people they just don't want to stop them. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that if somebody is planning something that they don't want to stop, then they not gonna stop it. They gonna let them go through with it. Why do you think they be so friendly with these dudes when they catch them? It's interesting, ain't it? Why are they so friendly with them when they catch them? They go take them to Burger King. Man, don't tell them where they took this dude. Why are they so friendly with these dudes, man, once they catch them? Ain't that interesting, huh? If I go do something like that, they not going to be friendly with me. If I even think about doing something like that, they not going to be friendly with me. They going to be kicking this door in. They going to be slamming my head through walls and all of that. So come on now. I can't even think about doing that. I can't even think about doing that at all. So again, they knew. They knew. Like they knew it, man. Like the way they be, it's just come on, man. The way that they be, I'm telling y'all, man. It's just so many cases that I can like that I personally know about with black folks getting into all type of situations because of social media, things that were posted and things like that, man. Just so many personal cases that I know. I find it hard pressed to believe like that this caught them by surprise. Like, nah, they knew what was up. They knew what was up, and they know what was up every time something like this happens. But again, call it a conspiracy theory all you want. Call it that. I just find it funny that every few months something like this has to happen. Every few months, man. Every few months, they got to continue to let black people know where they stand. Gotta let us know where we stand out here. Gotta let us know what the real situation is out here. Again, and it's subconsciously. It's a subconscious situation. They not letting us know it consciously. It's subconscious. But a lot of us ain't paying attention, man. A lot of us just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that somebody would do that. It's the reason why all of this is happening. Tasha Peace, what's happening? Francis Peace, what's the word? It's a reason. It's a reason that all of this is happening, man. It's a reason why we see these same patterns every few months. It's a reason. It is a reason, man. Part of it is distraction. Part of it is to get us riled up so that they can do some underhanded nonsense while we riled up and distracted. You know, things that we're not gonna pay attention to. If we were not riled up and distracted, we might catch these things. But they get us riled up, distracted, overly emotional, then they can do some underhanded things to us in the form of certain policies and whatnot. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. So now we got to pay attention to what new policies are they out here writing. Because now they done got us riled up. They got us distracted. They got us emotional. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do it. Then it's like, all right, cool. Let's take away some more of their freedoms through a policy. Nobody gonna even know that this policy passed because we were so focused on this. We were so focused on being riled up and emotional because of this, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Placement is everything, you know. So we just gotta pay attention, man. When something like this happens, we gotta pay attention. Cool, we can respond, we can get riled up, but we gotta pay attention to what they doing. The policymakers, like we gotta pay attention. What are they on? What new policies are they working on? Because they working on something. They working on something that's going under the radar that we gotta dig deep to find out what did they just do. TR, yep. I mean, the message is big clear, and we just continue to overlook it. And it's like I hate to continue to be that guy, but I look at people, I look at black people funny when they be like, man, I can't believe a person would. What do you mean you can't believe that? How many of your ancestors got to come before you and let you know the true nature of these people? Then, when you understand the true nature and you accept it, this type of stuff will not come as a surprise. But y'all don't want to continue to accept it. Man, I don't know how many of our ancestors got to keep coming before you and letting you know about these people. I just don't know. Y'all just choosing to ignore the great works of our ancestors who have made sacrifices, trying to let us know the truth about these people. So then when they do these things, it never surprises me because I have accepted the reality of these people, what's in their inherent nature to do. So when they do things like this, it coincides with what a lot of our ancestors have said. I quote this book all the time by I think is John Jackson one of the books, man, the amazing 100 amazing facts about the Negro. And they tell you what the Ethiopians said. The Ethiopians back in the day, how they depicted white. Now I ain't even talking about Elijah Muhammad. I ain't talking about the 5%. We talking about the Ethiopians from back in the day. Back in the day. We talking centuries ago, how they depicted these folks. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't nothing new under the sun. So when this type of stuff happens, I'm far from surprised. Far from surprised. I'm far from shocked. Far from shocked. Jazzberry, you Jazzberry, you say, what are your thoughts on interracial dating? Uh, and you say, I don't want to assume. So then now I'm gonna assume that you probably already know how I feel about it. Now again, you can do what you do. Like on a personal level, when it comes to interracial dating, you can date whoever you want to date. Where I have the problem is when you date outside of your race at the expense of talking down on your people. Then that's when I'm gonna have to come in and say something. Prime example. If you are a brother and you just choose to date or you prefer to date outside of your race, meaning you prefer not to date black women, cool. But don't do that all the while talking bad about black women. Now I have a problem. And vice versa for the sisters. If you prefer to date white guys, cool. But don't do that at the expense of talking bad or talking down on your brothers, on black men. Don't do that. Personally, I would never do that. I never did that. Darren, peace, what's happening? Ray, peace, what's the word? But yeah, man, it's real. And matter of fact, Jazz, to double back on that, that's that's what these white folks living in fear of. All of this mixing. All of this mixing will eventually lead to them being wiped out because scientifically we know the facts. Scientifically, we know that we the dominant gene, they are the more recessive gene. So if we keep mixing, then that's going to lead to, as Francis Cress Welsing talked about, the genetic annihilation of those people. So that's one of the matter of fact, that's what he put in the manifesto. That is what he fears. Peyton Gendron, an 18-year-old white boy, that's what he fears. So a lot of them have that fear. Chris for sure. And Delano, I never was big on voting either way it went, but I understand the power in doing it locally. I actually got a few brothers around this area that have ran for like that have done some things like that locally. Jakari, you say the audio is muffed, man. Y'all hear me good? We ain't trying to have it. We ain't trying to muff the message around here, man. We ain't trying to muff it. But yeah, Jazz, that's how I feel for that. Individually, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. I personally don't. I don't. I really don't get along with many people outside of black folk. You know, not saying that I don't like. I couldn't chop it up with them, but personally, like I don't really prefer to deal with anything outside of my race, man. As the book I got right here is called Race First. Race first. That's how I operate. But yeah, if you start saying I prefer to date white women and then you tearing down black women in the process of that, then I have a problem with you. If you just say I prefer to date white women and you just leave it alone, then cool. Cool. Just don't talk bad about us, man. Don't do that. That's when I'm gonna have to step in, man. I don't like when people do that. I can't stand that. Like I don't like black chicks. I prefer to date white women because black chicks this, that, and the third. Stop that. Cause then you're gonna end up like old boy and get murdered by the white chick. You know what I'm saying? Old boy. I know y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't know the names, but old black dude that wasn't fooling with the sisters, got him a white chick and she'd have killed him. You know what I'm saying? That's how you end up in that situation. So yeah, keep playing with them if you want to. Keep acting like it's all sweet over there. Like nothing can go wrong on that end. Keep acting like that. Keep acting like that until they murder you and then get away with murder. You know what I mean? Like not only could they murder you, they gonna get away with it. They gonna get it. They don't get away with it. They gonna get away with it. So they gonna murder you, then get away with it. So yeah, keep on acting like it's all sweet on that side. That's all I gotta say. When you talk bad about them sisters, vice versa, and then you go on the other side some strange things could happen to you. Just throwing it out there, which that should be obvious. But quit acting like everything is perfect on all these other sides. No, no, sir, no, ma'am. You ain't gotta talk bad about your people because you prefer other people. That's all I'm saying. Jazz, what you say? I just know a lot of people saying whites still hate blacks, and when a tragedy like that happens, they say this is why you shouldn't be sleeping with the enemy. Hey, uh, yeah, I and shout out. That's actually one of my favorite albums. That's a hip hop album, "Sleeping with the Enemy." Yeah, I really don't. I can't do it. Like I can't do it. Honestly, that's always how I would feel. You know what I mean? Like I personally can't do it. Again, that don't mean I can't chop it up with white folks, have decent relationships with them. I just would not like as far as that type of relationship, never in a million years. Never in a million years. Because at the end of the day, when things pop off and get real and people got to choose a side, what side you think they choose? Self-preservation is the first law of nature. It's a very select few of them that might put their life on the line like when it's that time. So nah, I'm good. I don't want to be in that type of situation. The real piece, what's happening? I don't want to be I don't want to be in that situation. So nah, like I don't chop it up with them. And I was at, like I said, I was at a predominantly white college. It's just, man, nah. When I'm in tune, when I'm tapped in, man, I don't have much. I don't have. People got to understand. I'm big when it comes to music, something I'm reading, people, all of that. I'm big into like some of my favorite music is music I can feel and relate to. Like that's my favorite music. My favorite artists are artists I can relate to. Like I feel what they saying. I relate to what they saying. Those are my favorite artists. I can't relate to artists where I don't feel what they are saying, or I feel like they fake. I feel like it's artificial. I feel like they destruct. Like I fool with artists and music who I relate to and that I feel. Like I feel what you're saying. I can't rock. Like that's one of the reasons why I can't rock with them, man. I cannot relate to y'all. I need to be able to relate to somebody I'm building with. I cannot relate to a white one. I cannot. Like there's nothing that I can relate. I just cannot do it. I just can't. I'm too in tune with my heat to them. I just can't. I've been there, done that. Again, I was at a college where it was probably 0.1%, 0.0001% black. So I'm all amongst them. And I'm telling you, I couldn't relate to any of them. I couldn't relate to any of them. To this day, I don't have any of them as friends on Facebook, Instagram, none of that. And I went there 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't relate to it. If you find somewhere where you can relate to them, that's cool. I can't though. I just can't do it. I need somebody that I can relate to. At the end of the day, I don't care what y'all say about sisters. We all can relate to the black struggle. No matter how they view it, we all going through a similar struggle as far as the black struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care how they view in life. They going through this black struggle with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Like I don't care how they view things. I don't care if they choosing to be illusional right now, delusional. They still going through this black struggle because this black struggle is not separate. It's not a separate struggle, contrary to what everybody wants people to believe. So I can relate to that. We got that in common. We are going through this struggle together. So when I'm going through some discrimination, when I'm going through some nonsense, and I bring it to her, like man, she can relate more than I can't bring that to the. Just can't do it. You don't get it. You will never get it because you're not in this black skin. King Ramsey's piece, what's happening? Akuma, I don't care what their experience is. The biggest difference is your experience is gonna be different via skin. At the end of the day, and I've always said this, if you take two people Again, if we go into a corporate structure, if we need to get our life on track, and you take two people from the same exact background, if you take a trailer park trash white guy, you take a black dude that look like me, or you take a black dude from the hood, and you line them up, and you tell corporate America to choose between one of them in regards to employing them and putting them on, you know what I'm saying? They gonna choose them. So at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, there is a hierarchy, whether we want to admit it or not. I got enough issues in regards to my people being in poverty and trying to raise them out of the situation. And unfortunately, it ain't much we can do. Some of these white people can clean themselves up and they can go change their situation and circumstance, contrary to what people out here believing and saying. You know what I'm saying? So if you trailer park white dude, you a trailer park white chick, you can go clean yourself up and you can go succeed in corporate America, because corporate America benefits you. Like corporate America wants you. They want to deal with their own people. We can't do that. We can go clean ourselves up to the best of our ability. They still got us at the bottom. They still got us at the bottom. So it's a big difference, man. It's a big difference. At the end of the day, it's a big difference. They can change their circumstances due solely to the color of their skin. Because again, that's how this system is structured. We can do everything perfectly fine, 100%, and still get put at the bottom. Still get put at the bottom. Still get, so at the end of the day, they will never be able to relate to that. When we do everything perfectly fine, we still get placed at the bottom. We didn't did everything that society didn't ask us to do, we still get placed at the bottom. They will never be able to understand that, man. They will never be able to understand that. There is no group of people in the wilderness of North America that will ever be able to understand that. Never. The white people that are trailer, whatever you want to call them, they didn't have anything stripped from them at all. Like, no, like they just did not have anything stripped from. Like, our experiences are totally different. Even if we have similar experiences in regards to growing up in poverty, not having fathers in the home and things like that. At the end of the day, when you go down to the origin of our experience, it's just totally different, man, and they cannot relate to it. They can't relate to it at all. They will never be able to relate to that. It's not, historically speaking, they cannot relate to what our people went through, like at all. At all. You know what I'm saying? The system was designed in a way to kick black men out. They created a whole COINTELPRO to say, oh, we don't want the rise of a black messiah, things along these lines. Like, it's ridiculous out here. It's ridiculous. Like, they just can't relate to a lot of that, man. They can't relate to basically a system discriminated against us, and we responded to the discrimination, and now it's a mark on our head, simply because we tired of being picked on. Then we respond, and now they want to assassinate us for responding. Who can relate to that? Who else can relate to that? A bully been picking on you this whole time. Imagine a bully been picking on you for 30, 40 years. You finally respond. Then when you respond, you get penalized. It's a mark on your head now. It's a mark on your head. Like, that's where it's at. Like, I don't have anything in common with them, man. We don't have much in common, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm looking at it from a systemic standpoint. And that's just, at the end of the day, that's what it is. That's when you study Neely Fuller Jr., Francis Cress Welsing, that's what we dealing with. We dealing with a system. And that's how I'm going to analyze everything, a system, not individual circumstances. I'm looking at it from a system standpoint, a systemic standpoint. And when you look at it like that, we don't have anything in common with them. We don't have anything in common with them. When Claude Anderson talks about it being a race and things like that, and he talks about powernomics, like, that's what we talking about, a system. We looking at it from a systemic standpoint, and that's how I'm going to analyze everything. So when I'm analyzing it like that, again, individual circumstances don't matter. That's almost like me trying to look at our situation and looking at a few black individuals that then made it, so-called made it, and saying, okay, boom, it's no excuse for us. Like, nah, I'm not gonna judge our situation based off of a few of them that actually made it. Like, nah, man, they allowed some of these folks to get in certain positions, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, we got to look at the whole, and that's what I'm doing. That's what it is. You know, hey, I ain't here to burst no bubbles. I ain't here to rain on nobody parade. Like I said, y'all want to, if everybody want to choose to look at women as women, I ain't never said anything about not doing that. I'm just speaking on the facts here of being relatable. Listen, I can't relate to being in white skin. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. No matter how everybody want to like those philosophies, no matter how hard we want to believe in those philosophies as we are all one, that is not how society is. There is no way I can relate. It's like I can't relate to things that women go through because I'm not a woman. I can't relate to some things that Asian people go through because I'm not Asian. I cannot relate to things that white folks go through because I'm not white. They can't relate to what I go through because they are not black. And that is just what it is. Like that's just how it goes. It's just certain things we cannot relate to because we not these people. We will never be able to relate. Never. Never. So I'm not even gonna act like that's a possibility on my end. I'm not gonna act like, oh, I understand what it's like being in white skin. No. And again, I'm just giving to y'all how the world is, now how I feel like the world should be. Again, unfortunately, we live in a world where the color of your skin, it matters. So we can look at it and be like, oh, it don't matter. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. Color don't matter. Well, that's cool. That's how you feel like the world should be. But in the like on a grand scale, that's not how the world is, unfortunately. And we living within this world, so we can try to ignore it all we want, but the world is not going to ignore it. Like your skin matters, your pigmentation, it matters. You know what I'm saying? It matters. No matter how hard we try to make it not matter, it matters. It matters. And I'm cool with it mattering as long as you acknowledge the power that comes with the melanin. You know what I'm saying? When you acknowledge that truth, then I'm cool. Like I want you to see this. You know what I'm saying? I want you to see I want you to see my pigmentation. So it's all good for me on my end. Some people don't like it. Some people try to get a little too deep and talking about, oh, it's a race is a social construct, all that. I hear y'all. But the fact of the matter is you got different shades of people. You know what I'm saying? It's just a fact. It's just the fact of the matter is I don't care what we want to label it. I don't care what we want to say the reason for it being is. Like I don't care. Like that's a fact. And then with that fact comes some scientific implications. And with that fact comes some social implications. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. You know. So at the end of the day, like I said, when it comes to certain issues, I prefer white people to stay out of it because y'all can't understand it. And this ain't no knock to white folks, but when it comes to issues like that makes my blood boil. And I don't even care if they coming from a so-called good place. Just don't speak on nothing if this is not involving you. Just go deal with your people. Don't be trying to tell black folks how we should be feeling. I don't even care about you. I don't want you telling me you understand because you don't. Like you, if it's something that revolves around us being mistreated and discriminated against because of our pigmentation, just leave your comments. Don't say anything to me because you cannot. Akuma, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the word excuses. I don't like that word. I don't like that word. I don't like the word excuses when it comes to black people because you know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying you did that directly, but I do not like when I'm breaking down what happened to us historically and the word excuse comes up because that's unfair. That's a slap in our ancestors' faces, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a slap in your people's face to be calling these things excuses because it was a whole system designed to keep a certain type of people at the bottom. And this is not something that we got to make up and fabricate. This is something that actually happened. That's not an excuse. This is not something that's made up. How can we call something an excuse when they got COINTELPRO files literally documenting that we don't want to see the rise of a black messiah? So anytime a person along those lines tries to rise up and raise his people up, they assassinate them. How can we call that an excuse? What you think is gonna happen if they take a couple with children and they take the strength of that couple, which is the man, and they kill him, split him apart in front of the woman? What do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think that's going to instill in the woman and then the children? What do you think is going to happen? These are not excuses. These are psychological traumatic situations that we continue and energy that we continue to pass down. So again, it's not that simple, man. It's almost like me being in the fitness space. People think everything is so simple when it comes to losing weight. It's not. You dealing with a hormonal imbalance. That's what happens when you dealing with obesity, when you dealing with being overweight. It's not so simple. So when you try to tell somebody, well, you need to just stop eating X, Y, and Z, that sounds good, but it's not that simple because we dealing with hormones. We're dealing with a hormonal imbalance. You know what I'm saying? So do you know how hard, how complicated it is? You know how complicated it is to do what's right and exact when your body and your mind are literally in conflict? So it's not that simple. It's never that simple. It's never that simple. When you listen, when you come out the womb, do you have any option in regards to what foods you eat? No, you don't. You are literally about to eat the foods of the elders around you. Whatever they supplying you with, that's what you're going to eat. You have no say so in your first years of life. So we developing these habits in our first years of life and we had no say so. It's hard to break these habits, especially considering the fact that these habits affect our hormones. They affect our cells. Our cells are manipulated. Our hormones are manipulated. So this stuff is a little bit deeper than saying that these things are excuses, man. It's a little bit deeper than that. It's a little bit deeper than that. It's a lot deeper than that, actually. A lot deeper. Because again, like I said, some of us are suffering from trauma that we didn't even necessarily manifest. We suffer from trauma that was passed down to us. Again, black people collectively have never had the chance to heal. You know what I'm saying? So that's unfair. Like that's just unfair, man. We have never collectively had the chance to heal, and we did not ask to be placed in the position that we were placed in. So, God damn it, I feel like we have the right. Even if we want to make excuses, I goddamn feel like we got that right. Because for one, we was promised, we were supposed to get reparations. All these other groups of people received reparations. We didn't. So if we want to make excuses, we can. Because we should have received reparations in the first place, my brother. And we never received them. We went through what we went through and they just let us out and told us to go fend for ourselves and make a way. Whole while all these other groups, from the Japanese to the so-called Jews, all these other groups of people that received reparations for what they went through. And nobody went through what we went through. And we received what? What did we receive? What did we receive? We didn't receive no reparations, man. We didn't receive anything. We just received debt that we continue to be born into. That's what we received. But we the only group of people that's really just supposed to figure things out, and we can't complain about nothing. We the only group of people that applies to. All these other groups of people, they get assistance. They get a lot of assistance. Come on, man. Y'all be wondering how some of these other groups, like some of these Arabs, even some of these African folks, y'all be wondering how they be coming here setting up shop. Man, a lot of them be getting assistance under the table from Big Brother, from your government. But it appears like they just come over here and they just make things happen. I'm telling y'all, that ain't happening for the most part. That's not happening. A lot of them are getting assistance, and they don't a lot. Some of them will tell you that. Some of them will tell you that because I've been cool with some of these folks. Some of them will tell you they're getting this assistance. You will look up and you will see an Arab come over here and they own in 17 gas stations. How that happen? They want to make it look like, oh, it's just hard work and everybody can make it in America. Woo woo woo, and then slap in the face to black folks. Man, I'm telling y'all, there's a lot that's going on under the table that's not being discussed. So then now everybody want to look at black folks like, well, see, they came over here and they did this. Well, what y'all doing? Man, I tell the story of my uncle, which is part of the reason why my family is in St. Louis, and a close friend of his when they tried to open up a liquor store. And it was so much red tape, red flags, man. They would not allow them to get the license to open up the store. And my uncle worked for the government, and his friend, they both work for the government, and they would not give them the license to open up a liquor store. But then when you look up, all these Arabs have liquor stores. My uncle and his people both work for the government, and they would not let them open up a liquor store. I mean, they have nothing on their records, man, clean as a whistle, and they gave them havoc, gave them all type of havoc when they was trying to open up a liquor store, to the point where they just gave up. It's gay, like, man, come on, man, like, it shouldn't take all of that. And that's what happened. Listen, they tried to open up a liquor store, and they would not allow these brothers to open up a liquor store. My uncle and his friend, and this might have been before I was born, all red tape. They made them jump through all type of hurdles to open up the liquor store. But a Arab, I don't know about y'all, but where I live, most of these liquor stores are owned by Arabs. But my uncle and his friend, two black guys, couldn't open up one. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's a lot of things out here to where it's ridiculous. Though it's ridiculous. We gotta go through way more than other people, and it just should not be that. If again, I can see if we making excuses and we on a level playing field, and everything is equal. They treating us just like they treat everybody else. That's not the case though. Percy, my brother, appreciate the donation. So I got one question. You talking about the mass shooter? How can you kill 10 people and plead not guilty? And he came out alive. The cops handled him gently. Oh, for sure, man. Because like I said, they knew something was up. They knew what was up. Like I said, they knew what was up. They knew that they knew what he was planning. They knew that. They knew it. They knew what he was planning, man. You done killed all these black folks. You done wrote this 180-page manifesto. I couldn't write a 1-page, 2-page manifesto about my intentions to do something like that to white folk without them flagging it. You know what I'm saying? Without them flagging it. Like, come on now. They knew what was up. They knew what was up. But then he can plead COVID, mental health, like all of that. That's what he can do. That's what he can do. He could plead COVID, he could plead mental health and all of that. You know, so that's the world we live in, man. Dudes can do what they did, but again, like I'm about to see, we're gonna see how this unfolds though. We're gonna see how this unfolds. Kevin, for sure. Man, do y'all remember Hurricane Katrina? Do y'all remember when man, I ain't even let me just calm down, man. Let me just calm down. Let me calm down on that tip. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all you know what I'm saying? They was flying right over Hurricane Katrina. You know what I'm saying? They was flying right over Hurricane Katrina. I mean, not Hurricane Katrina. They was flying right over Louisiana at the time. They was flying right over. You know what I'm saying? Katrina was and they man listen. And they broke the let. Yeah, we we ain't even you know what I'm saying? We ain't even gonna get into that one. But we already know who was we know who was responsible for that. And the way that they treated the folks in Louisiana, sick. Jazz, you say, what do you think reparations for black people would look like? I was watching an episode of Atlanta and they went for the lineage that own their ancestors. Man, listen. Man, just give us something. I mean, at this point, you know what I'm saying? At this point, give us something. Give us something. Man, I don't have no detailed plan for what I feel like it should look like, man. Just give us something. Give us something. We what did we receive? Absolutely nothing. Give us something, man. Give us a pot. Give us something. What they say, 40 acres and a mule. Like, just give us something. Like, it's a slap in the face to see all these other groups receive something, and we receive nothing. We receive absolutely nothing. Like, I feel like we deserve to receive something. But I know we're not gonna get it though. Like, I'm gonna deal with the reality. I know that we not gonna ever get any form of reparations unless we take it or create it for ourselves. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally it. That's literally it. So they not gonna give us anything. It sounds good. That's what should happen, but it's not gonna happen. Unfortunately. And I mean the stuff that our people went through. The stuff that our people went through. You know what I mean? And we are receiving absolutely nothing. I got a book called The Slocum Massacre. You know what I mean? That book is sick. And a lot of people don't even know about that particular incident. This happened. People talk about Black Wall Street, Rosewood, man, the Slocum massacre. This happened in like East Texas or something like that. It was a similar situation around the same time. And not many people even know about this. How many of us was losing our lives back then, and man, it just went undocumented? The Slocum massacre. How many people have heard of what happened in Slocum, Texas, almost 100 years ago? How many of you all have heard of this story? Like I'm gonna ask y'all that question. How many of y'all wish I had this book in my? I wish I had this book. I know that book is somewhere, but I read, man, that book is crazy. How many of y'all heard of the Slocum massacre? Let me know if you heard of the Slocum massacre. Like that mug is sick. Like I say, people we talk about Rosewood, we talk about Black Wall Street, but this Slocum massacre, this happened in like 1910. 1910. And a lot of people don't even know about this joint. That mug was sick. 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 I mean, we literally was losing our lives for false allegations. This is what happened, man. This is part of what happened. I ain't gonna get the whole story. It's a good book that you could look up on Amazon. But one thing that they did in regards to this massacre in 1910, one thing that they did, y'all know the church was like our safe haven. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that these white folks in that town accused black, they said, this is what they said in this book called the Slocum Massacre. When you study it, when they saw these black people meeting up at the church, they had this fear that they were meeting up to plot, plan, and strategize and attempt to massacre white folks. So since white people had this fear, guess what they went out and did? They just started shooting and killing all the black people in that area. All because they had this fear that black people were planning an attack against white folks. Now, this is not what's happening. Black people, the church is the safe haven. Black people gonna go to church. This is 1910. Black people just in the church doing what they do. Doing what they do. And they had this fear that they was planning an attack. And that was enough. That was enough for them to be like, all right, we finna go ahead and kill all the black folks in this town. Now, that ain't why the whole massacre popped off, but that's something that happened. That's something that happened within the massacre, the Slocum massacre. I'm telling y'all, if you don't know anything about that, study that. It's a book on that mug. I think the book is by that same name. Toronto Peace, what's happening? Slocum massacre, crazy situation. But again, it's one of our many stories that don't get documented, don't get taught about, that we don't get taught about. We gotta dig deep to find this part of our history. You know, and that's unfortunate. All these people that lost their lives, man, nonsense. You know, they playing games with us, giving us head starts. You know what I'm saying? Telling us to go run, giving us head starts, and then they chasing that, they shooting after. You know what I'm saying? They shooting us in the back after giving you a 10-second head start to run. This stuff they doing to us, feeding the black babies to alligators and whatnot. This is stuff that's happening to us. This is stuff that's happening. That's stuff that happened to us. This stuff that happened to us, man. Like for real. And we got repaid never. And we never gonna get repaid for that. Never gonna get repaid for that. But like I said, when we talk about what happened to black people collectively, we supposed to leave that in the past. And the fact that we keep talking about it is the reason why it won't die. But every other ethnic group that has been through anything in life, they not told the same thing. They not told to forget about their past. That's just black people. We are the ones that are encouraged to forget our past. Forget it ever happened. Like that's what we are instructed to do. The Mario for sure, 100%. TR. And again, and what's messed up about it is they can respond according to that fear and mess around and not even get in trouble. That's what's sick about it. We done been through some traumatic things, so it's almost like we would have the right to like respond and retaliate based off of the mistreatment. But they can respond to their fear of us retaliating, and they can get away with it. Hence, what the police do every time they shoot and kill a black child or a black man, black woman. Oh, they was fearing for their lives, and they can get away with that. They can get away with that. Terenzo, my brother, appreciate that donation. And Amos Wilson said in reference to that, the laws are only as strong as the people that enforce them. And even with it not protecting their own women, when it's the choice, when the hierarchy involved, they gonna choose their own women before they choose either one of us. So when it boils down to it, if it's us or their women, they gonna choose their women. They gonna do that. They're not choosing that. They can't do it. It wouldn't serve their bottom line to have us on a level playing field. When it comes to power is never evenly distributed. They got to keep the power in the family. They can't be evenly distributing the power out here. They can't have that. You know what I'm saying? They can't have it. TR for sure. K Reno got something along the lines. He said we got to stop all that singing and start swinging. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? We got to get up out the church. You know what I'm saying? These choirs singing. We got to start swinging. Like all that singing and these Negro spirituals and all that ain't finna do nothing for us. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start fighting. So that's when he got a song. He say, man, we got to stop all that singing and start swinging. And I 100% agree with that. Stop all that singing and start swinging. Seriously. At some point, it's going to boil down to that. But again, we so convoluted as a people, we can't agree on one common enemy. That's how it's by design. By design. So when we come out and we start swinging, we finna hit each other all the time. We hitting each other. We swinging on each other. That's what we gonna do. But it's by design. By design. That's why they doing what they doing. Like that's why they, you know what I'm saying? That's why the media is the way that it is. That's why they show us certain images and all of that. Like that's why we depicted a certain type of way in the media. Lindell, exactly. Who's surprised? Definitely not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you who's not surprised. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's real, man. It's real out here. Whether folks want to admit it or not, is real. As I said, previous stream, Mob Deep. It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. It's literally happening. You know what I'm saying? Like we really witnessing this right now. It's going down. And contrary to what we all want to believe, or we all believe, whatever. Listen, we public enemy number one. Like we are the main targets. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, hey, some people don't want to believe it. Some people don't want to believe that if people could be so sick. I don't know why, because that history is not too far removed, actually. It's really not too far removed when you really think about it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why y'all can't really fathom this, but it's real in the field. It's real in the field. It is real in the field, which is again why somebody such as myself is always pushing black unity. Listen, I don't care about all lives unity. I don't care about that. we need black unity first. We get this black unity, we can work on unifying with other folk. But we got to get this black unity under control. That's what I'm focused on. I don't care about, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about other people being in the mix. I really don't care about none of that. The black unity is very important right now. Black unity is very important. That's why I'm always trying to push and promote it. That's why I will get so passionate when it comes to discussing these type of topics. You know what I'm saying? I get passionate when I'm discussing anything surrounding black people, whether it's black men, black women. I'm gonna always defend y'all. Listen, if y'all don't defend yourselves, just best believe I'm gonna defend y'all, and I'm gonna get passionate about it. I'm not about to let somebody talk bad about black men and black women. It's just not gonna happen. Not under my watch, and I don't care who it is. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna always stand up for my people. Like I said, and that could be to a fault. You know, like I said, I know doors have been closed on me because of that type of content, that type of commitment, that type of information, that type of rhetoric. I know that, but I'm not backing down from none of that. I'm not backing down from none of that, man, because again, I understand my purpose, and that's part of the purpose, man, to unify black people. Part of the purpose, and I got to do that by any means necessary. I got to do that. I got to do that by any means, man. However I can strive to do it, I got to do. I must do it. I must do it. It's something that I have to do. It's something that has to be done. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep sitting here putting out energy into the atmosphere that's causing dysfunction, that's causing a disconnect amongst my people. No, no, can't do it. Can't allow it to be done. Will not allow it to be done. So I'm gonna continue to do what it is that I do. I'm gonna continue to stand for what I stand for. I'm gonna continue to stand on what I stand on. Because again, man, we gonna have to unify. Again, it's gonna get to the point we have no choice. That's why I'm so big on us supporting one another. Because again, them striving to wipe out this middle class and make it either you rich or you poor. Like again, we start supporting one another more. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about any of that, man, because we support one another, so we good. Because at the end of the day, we all we got. You know, so when we start supporting each other more, all of that stuff that they own, man, it don't even matter, man. It don't even matter. When we come together, man, that stuff that they own, it don't matter. And that's the fear that they have. Because when we start coming together, one thing that's gonna be realized collectively is that for the longest they've told us that we some form of minority. A lot of us know that that's a lie, but it's like when we come together collectively, we gonna show and prove that. We gonna show and prove that to the people, for the doubters, the people that don't know that, the people that have been like tricked by them. See, we are the majority. So when we come together and unify, that will be realized. And that's one of their biggest fears is us coming together and realizing, oh, we really are the majority. We really outnumber them. Like we really outnumber them. Like if we just come together, they could not touch us. That's why they got to keep everything divided. That's why they got to keep everything at dysfunctional. That's why they got to keep everything chaotic. That's why they got to keep everything in turmoil. That's why. That's a big reason why. Again, notice what I'm saying. Us realizing our power, that don't mean we about to come out here and kill white folks. We're not gonna do it. We're not that type of people. But we come together and realize our power. One thing we're gonna do is collectively defend ourselves. That's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna we not the type of people to wake up with destruction on our mind, ready to kill a whole group of people because of how they look. We're not wired like that. But we come together, we're gonna be like, all right, cool. If y'all try some funny business with us, this is what's gonna happen though. They don't want us even doing that. They have a fear of that unity for that particular reason, because we're gonna realize who really out here. We're gonna realize how many of us is really out here. They can't have that. They can't have that at all. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I gotta make some moves, man. I feel like I done got some stuff off my chest. It was a good build. Appreciate donations, man. Appreciate y'all, all y'all tapping in, man. This is, again, it's all love. As Styles P say, love is love. But I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all. How about I say Monday? Shoot, it's Wednesday. I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Wednesday, man. I gotta get out, put my head in a few of these books, man. Do some studying before I go back to this gym, man. But I'm out. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be easy out here. I'm out though. Peace.